Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and for today I wanted to give you guys my first impressions on this new maker uniform for Mr. Fantastic, because I think this is gonna be one of those uniforms where people just skip it because the character just kind of feels like he got shafted, and it's a shame because I know a lot of you guys, just like myself, we're very excited for this uniform and seeing the potential, the possibilities that could be realized with it. Mr. Fantastic as a villain is not something you see very often. It's like seeing, I don't know, Iron Man as a villain, or Professor X, even though he's not a villain in this update, right? Seeing a character like that, that's generally a good guy, as a bad guy, it kind of like makes you think, wow, what are the possibilities, right? If somebody as smart as Reed was a villain, how powerful would he be? So I feel like they kind of robbed them and robbed us of that dream of seeing him as a top meta villain in the game. Personally, right? They went ahead and they I guess they nerfed him in a couple different ways. For one, he's losing this leadership ability, and I have spoken about this in one of my videos previously. This is actually a pretty big thing, and it's gonna get even bigger once this character gets her awakening or her tier 3, because she's one of the best support types in the game. If you play a lot of World Boss Ultimate, you use her leadership quite a bit. If you're not playing World Boss Ultimate, or if the character doesn't have defense down and they have the leadership tag, you get to use this kimono stance, which increases your damage dealt to super villains as long as they have this leadership ability by 60%. And if you have this uniform, which was on sale for the holiday season last year, it takes it a step further. It gives you an additional 15% all attack, it gives you 10% chain hit damage, and 30% ignore dodge. If you're playing a lot of World Boss Legend, you know how important that ignore dodge is. So for Reed to be losing all of these buffs, that's gonna hurt his potential to do damage once that character can be used in World Boss Legend. And looking at the rate that they're awakening characters and transcending them, it's only a matter of time, because in this new maker uniform, he loses the ability to take advantage of the leadership tag in place of this pure evil tag. However, there's no character in the game that buffs you to the degree of a White Fox for having this pure evil tag. So maybe in the next 6 months to a year or something, if they can bring out a character that gives you 60% more damage to heroes and villains, or just villains, if you have the pure evil tag, and then give you all those massive buffs from White Fox's uniform, Reed could be right back in the money. But even then, with this uniform right here, Mr. Fantastic had an amazing third skill that not only helped him stay alive, but also gave him extra damage, because it's damage accumulation based on damage taken. So you stand around for a bit, or while you're attacking with this skill, you get hit and you do more damage. It's beautiful. Plus, he also had super armor and invincibility, which is really good, because from his very beginning, with the modern look to the future foundation, and even now with the maker uniform, Mr. Fantastic lacks survivability, or he could have a problem staying alive in endgame content, because for whatever reason he still doesn't have a heal. They gave every other member of the Fantastic Four a heal, but even with this maker uniform and him being one of the faces of this update, they still for whatever reason decided not to give this man a heal. But on top of that, they just went ahead and just took away the third skill accumulation, costing him some damage, and also taking away the super armor / invincibility, because having invincibility basically grants you super armor, right? So the two pretty much one and the same, but invincibility obviously will protect you against incoming attack as long as the enemies can't penetrate invincibility. So he's losing a lot, and it's quite sad. Again, he's getting a buff here on his fourth skill. It's going up by, I believe, 10%, 15% before on his fourth skill, and then they buffed it up to 25%. But big whoop, right? You're taking away damage accumulation, and you're not giving him a heal, and you're also taking away invincibility plus his ability to utilize the leadership tag. It's a real bummer. All these things are gonna hurt him. His uniform bonus are staying the same. I think the least they could have done Well, clearly they can do less, and they did do less, right? But they could have given him a heal at the very least, because he does play pretty similar across the two uniforms. As for the skill rotation, I like to start off with the fourth skill, and then I'll delay cancel into the fifth skill, let the fifth skill go with the proc, and then I'll do 3. And if the tier 3 is on rotation, I'll definitely just do 4 and then delay cancel into the tier 3, then jump into the 5 and then do the 3, because the 3 has an iframe. So this is what it looks like practically, and then we'll jump into some gameplay. So you do not want to instantly cancel this skill, because if you cancel it instantly, this is what happens. Just keep that in mind. You want to let him jump back. Once he hits the ground, then you have to cancel out of it. But just keep in mind that sometimes he jumps back too far and certain skills cannot get him out. See, I'm pressing it 2 skill, nothing's happening, right? But if I were to go like 4, jump back, then go into 5, I can cancel. And one thing you notice is even if you cancel out, those guns still come out of the ground. So let's do that again. We jump back. See, 3 skill, he's too far back, he cannot get out. So just keep in mind, you have to be aware of which skills will allow you to cancel out. See, these 3 skills here will not allow you to cancel out in some cases because he's too far back. But you do not want to let that skill take the proc. You ideally want to go 4. As soon as he jumps down, you want to go right into the 5th skill. All right, and then obviously when the tier 3 skill is ready, his tier 3 skill has always been one of his best skills. However, as you can see, I'm not sure if you're seeing it, I could not get his tier 3 skill off there, right? Because he was too far back. So you have to be aware of like where you were positioned on the map and account for him jumping back, and then you might in some cases need to use your 5th skill and then instantly canceling it into your tier 3, because sometimes he's just too far away and he cannot cancel out. There's a bunch of problems with this new uniform, Mr. Fantastic. So I jump back here, tier 3 is ready, I'm spamming it, I'm pressing it, and I couldn't get it in time. The hits are already going from the 4th skill. That's probably going to take your proc if you're not using a rage. Alright boys, so I've waffled on long enough. Let me show you guys a little bit of what Mr. Fantastic can currently do. Alright, so we got the 4th skill off. Yep, we got guard broken. One of many times that's gonna happen. Because these super geniuses that decided, yeah, let's just take off his accumulation off his 3rd skill and take off his super armor while you're at it. And on top of that, just go ahead and remove his invincibility. You know, that thing that will give you super armor even if it doesn't say you have super armor. Yeah, just go ahead and take off all of those things. And I take away his leadership tag while you're at it. Ha! A leader? Ha! He only has the best leadership in the game. Well, for the Fantastic Four, and like in terms of like damage output, it's one of the best leaderships. But leadership tag, sure. I know leadership for them means brave, but anyone could be classified as brave if they're risking their life to save people. Alright, now this is me. Shit, a firefighter running into a burning building. They're brave as hell. Alright, so hey, why Mr. Fantastic not getting that leadership tag? He brave too. Look at him fighting a god. Slapped in my head. And nice. See, if I had my 3rd skill accumulation there, okay, I would have been able to push phase, because I would have taken some damage and accumulated it, and then essentially just do that right back in his face. I'm just gonna go to the tier 3, because the other skills don't do that much damage. They really don't. Push phase. Nice. Still think he's weaker than Johnny. Definitely think he's weaker than Johnny. And that says a lot because his uniform is gonna be way more expensive to upgrade. Your black antimatter, hella precious, and your gold, you can use all that to get a couple characters built up. Finish up some characters' gears or something. We dodged all of those. Did I get pushed out? Okay, good. I got stunned though. You know, I'm just gonna blast with the tier 3, man. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting, bro. While he's over here though, I'm gonna risk. I'm gonna take a little bit of damage and get my skill built up a little bit. Huh, I saw the Bifrost open there. Almost had me thinking I was using Odin. Nice. Okay. So that was with double support, stage 4, no Pierce. Honestly, I wanted more. I wanted more out of him, bro. Like, he just feels like the exact same character he was, and he's doing the exact same things, only worse off. Like, the only thing that he has going for him now is a new look, and he's now classified as a combat supervillain instead of a combat superhero. That's pretty much it. Alright, boys, let's see if we can beat up on Mephisto. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not very happy with this uniform. I'm not. They let me down big time. Like, overall the update is good. They did lots of good things, but like, this is not one of them. Alright, so see if they had let him keep the accumulation on his third skill and then gave him like heal on, like, I don't know, maybe a heal on his fifth or something, right? Like, man, he would have been so much better. But like, not only is he missing a heal, he's losing the leadership tag, he loses invincibility, he loses accumulation, all that to become a villain, bro. That's not worth. Because like, villains don't have a lot of good supports. Like, there's no leader for villains like Nick Fury, even if you wanted to use him in like World Boss Ultimate or whatever, right? And there's no villain like buff character like White Fox. So like, oh, almost skipped the whole phase, partner. Okay, gonna take the long way because I gotta dodge that thing, bro. I ain't playing with it. Okay, doesn't help that the rest of his kit doesn't really do that much damage, at least from what I'm seeing. It's like all his damage is on his tier 3, so every other rotation when you get his tier 3 off, that's when you see big numbers. And besides that, you see a little bit of movement on the bar here or there. Alright, let's fry this man. Bunch of punches to his throat. Oof. At least that thing doesn't seal your healing. Oh, yoy. Took a what? How many times are you gonna do this? Apparently 4. I swear he did it more than 3 times, which is not how he usually does it. This guy's laughing in my face. Well, actually, he's laughing at Mr. Fantastic. He's like, pathetic. You call yourself a villain? You call yourself a villain? Huh. Go back to being one of those no good heroes. Oh my gosh. And I wanted to use the third skill, but I didn't get to use it. Cool. No. Oof, got stunned. Stretch those goddamn legs. Wow. This man teleported on top of me. Okay. I really need movement speed on my cards or something, because I feel like I am so slow. Okay. So he barely squeezed out stage 2 here. I'm not impressed. I am not impressed. I am truly not. Because for the same price of his uniform, you could buy Johnny's new uniform, or you could buy Iron Man's new uniform, and both of those uniforms are going to be much easier for you to get to Mythic versus Fareed, who you're going to actually have to use black antimatter on, like bunch more gold and stuff. Yeah, man. Like, they shafted him big times. Like, it's not like a terrible uniform, but I'm not seeing a substantial upgrade. I'm really not. So, like, when I get this uniform to Mythic, which I will, because I'm just waiting on the XP. I don't want to waste my chips. I'll just farm out the XP over the next like week or so. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison between these two uniforms at Mythic and see like what's really good, you know? Because like in War Boss Ultimate, this one's probably gonna, I can't even say that, like, because I was gonna say this one is probably gonna be better because you can use the White Fox support system, but then again, the Maker now has defense down, and 65% is pretty good, right? Most of the defense down clown characters, they have 70%, and then the top tier ones like Deadpool have 80 to 100%, right? So 65% defense down is not bad, but where the game is at right now, defense down don't really matter too much, right? We're on War Boss Legend time. Like, we're still, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what these guys are on, but yeah, we'll see if this uniform ages well. If in like 6 months we get a character that buffs villains that have the pure evil tag and do what White Fox does for them, then this uniform might see some more play. But besides that, man, I think he's gonna be a nice leadership to have for for Johnny. That's just what it is. And you don't really need the uniform because the base kit still gives you 65%. So all you need is the tier 3 so you can spice up your gameplay, spice up your life with one of the best uniforms and one of the best characters in the game. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.